Hello, Mr. TJ Ward. This is Neil Howe. Thank you for your interest in what's going on with all these searches in Atlanta for private investigators. I know you have been in the business for quite some time. You've had many high-profile cases, so you have the reputation for doing that. Um, I just want to show you what's going on with some of the other people, especially online, and the fact that there are a lot of people searching for private investigators in Atlanta specifically right now. I like your website here. I see it's TJ Ward and Associates now. I did have a peek at what it was before. I like these videos. Obviously, you've got all that credibility with Larry King and Nancy Grace and Hannity and Riley and all these different people, which is awesome. So people obviously know who you are from the business that you have done already. I love this credibility being front and center. I'm not sure if you're trying to get away from that, if it's a time in your life where you're maybe passing it on to more your associates for the change of website. I do have a few things to say about the website in a little minute, but I want to quickly go to, let me see, I want to show you first just a search for Private Investigators Atlanta. So I've got a few different software things on my computer that tells me how many people are searching and gives me information about everybody's website that I click on. And this one right here shows there's 1,600 searches a month and a cost per click of $21.09. So that's over $32,000 worth of traffic if you look at this metric of people who are looking for a private investigator specifically with these exact keywords in Atlanta. And as you can see over here, there's different things in Marietta, there's near me. These are all things that people are typing into Google that are relevant for the Atlanta area. So there's all these different kinds of searches that you can be shown up for. Now, there were a lot of ads on this page beforehand, but I think after business hours, they kind of die off a little bit, even though we still have 3 here. So there's these 3 people, and there's usually a couple of ads up here at the top as well. And people are competing for these 1,600 searches a month. But if you know anything about paid advertising, is most people kind of gloss over the paid advertising, and only about 5 to 10% of people will actually click on those ads. So you've got between 80 to 160 people now that might click on the paid ads a month instead of that 1,600. So where do the rest of the 1,600 go? Well, about 50% of them go right here, and they'll click on one of these 3 positions in the map pack or the local listings right here. And this is all to do with location. I know your business is up and around here in the Glen Ridge area, your office is. So, you've got a great chance of being able to show up on the map here and in one of these top positions when people are searching for a private investigator in Atlanta. Now, there's certain reasons that these 3 are picked by Google to show. Some of it has to do with the location of the search. Now, I'm searching an Atlanta search from Marietta, but this is the results that it's given me. It might be a little bit different searching from Atlanta itself. So it's a little bit funny about that, but generally these 3 are going to stay the same, maybe just in a different order. Maybe one will pop in that wasn't there before when you search from different places. That is the nature of the map. It's all about location, location, location. Anyway, I've picked these 3 right here as your competitors, as this is the place that you really want to get to, as it gets about 50%. So you're talking about 800 of the people that do this search are going to click on one of these 3 listings. There are also more businesses here. You can click on this and you'll see more businesses based on the map, but generally people are going to click one of these three right here. So a few things to look for. First of all, we've got the 5 stars, which we want to work with a 5-star business, and it's got 7 reviews, which isn't that many for somebody that's been in business. I know we'll visit his site in a minute, for 20 years or so. This one, Private Investigator Atlanta, Georgia. Well, this guy is kind of keyword stuffing right here. It's working for him right now, but it's actually against Google terms. So this is something that we could get removed if we wanted to. And Investigative Solutions LLC, this is another one. They've got a few offices around the Atlanta area, and they have 32 reviews, and they got a 4.7 star, which gives them a lot of credibility, having the most reviews. You often find it's not the top one that gets picked. It's usually one with the most reviews and the highest star rating. So 4.7 with 32 reviews is pretty good. If I was to choose, I would likely choose this one or this one as my first choices. Now below that, we have what we call the general organic section, and this is right here. And you'll see we've got things like expertise and Thumbtack, we've got Yelp, we've got Angie's List, we've got the Yellow Pages. So they take up a lot of the space right here, but it still gets about 40% of the clicks, people searching down in this area as well. And this is where you really want to optimize for SEO. So your competitors right here are, in solutions. So that's the Investigative Solutions that was on the map, number 3. We've got Martinelli Investigations, and then we've got the PI Agency and Allen Investigative. So what I notice here is 2 out of the 3 are on the front page as well as on the map. So they're doing something right. So what I would look to do is have a look to see what they're doing with all the tools that I have, and then copy it and do it a little bit better so I can take their place. So let me just go over a few things. First of all, we'll have a look at your website here. Now it says you got 158 links. Now that doesn't mean a great deal, because it's the type of links that you get to your website that really make the difference. But numbers do mean something. So you can say in general, the more links you have, the more chance you have of ranking higher, although that's not necessarily true. You've got high domain authority, which means there's you've been around for a while and your domain's got some authority in and of itself. When we look at these other ones, we've got Allen Investigative. He only has 14 links here, domain authority of 14. So that's something that we should be able to beat. But like I said, obviously he's doing something right if he's showing up number 1 on the map. So we've got to figure out what that is. And then you've got 16 links from this Perimeter Investigations. That was the one that changed their name to Private Investigator Atlanta, Georgia. On the map listing. And then we've got In Solutions LLC. They've got 824 links. So they've got more links than anybody else here, but they're showing up 3rd instead of 1st. So we've really got to look into what kind of links they've been getting. And then you've got further down, you got Martinelli, who has 119 links, but they seem to be everywhere. And I'll show you one of the other tools that I use here as well. This goes to show you we've got 1,600 search volume a month. It says a cost per click here of 16.23. So as you can see, it's relatively stable all across the board all year long. Goes down a little bit for 4 months, but relatively stable at 1,600 a month. So that's traffic that's coming in every single month from the internet. And as you can see down here, it's 2109 for Atlanta Private Investigator. So those are the keywords that you really want to try and rank for, because that's where the money can be made, obviously. So what I want to do here is look at, this is your website. It says here you got 267 links, a domain score of 4. organic monthly traffic of 26, and you rank for 36 organic keywords. Okay, this looks like maybe the time that you got your website redesigned, that you had nobody really coming here, and you're starting to go back up again, which is good. But 26 visits a month is less than one a day, which isn't a great deal when there's 1,600 people a month searching. Okay, and then we've got your top pages here. We've got some likes on Facebook, which is good. You really want to use the social. That really helps a lot. And then the keywords, these are the keywords that you rank for and the estimated visits it gives you. So basically you're ranking for your name, and that's about it. You're not ranking for any keywords like, excuse me, the Private Investigator Atlanta. I know that Natalie Holloway was a major case in the news. I'm sure you still get a lot of business from being that person that did that. We also have Allen Investigative here. As you can see, they rank for a lot more keywords. There's 99 organic keywords. Again, they don't really have many backlinks, and their domain score isn't that great, which means we should be able to get a lot more than them. But as you can see, they're getting 144 visitors per month on average, which is quite a bit more than you, and that's because they are ranking in that top map spot. Okay, so we want to take a good look at what they're doing and just do it a little bit better so that we can get their position. And then we've got this other one, Perimeter Investigations. He's ranking for 86 keywords, 31 backlinks. Again, not a high domain score, so should be able to beat that out pretty easily. And then he's got 94 visitors a month, which is okay. And then of course we've got Martinelli, and they've done a lot of SEO, looks like. They've got 1,600 backlinks, not a great domain score, which tells me that the backlinks aren't that great. All these no follow links, that's good and bad. But they are ranking for 627 keywords. That's a lot of keywords that they're ranking for, and they are getting 972 visits per month to their page. So with 972 visits, they're likely getting quite a bit of business right there. So what I want to share with you is on your website now. There's a few things, and I don't know if somebody's still working on this, but if it's a work in progress or what's going on, but some of the things that I noticed right away is this title tag right here, Private Investigations. If it was me, I would have Private Investigator Atlanta as the title tag, because that's the one that gets the most searches. Also, one of the biggest things, and I said I'd give you 3 things to really look at. One of the biggest things that you need to do is get content on the homepage of your website. Now, Google recommends about 1,500 words. You don't have a great deal of content at all on your website, so it's very hard for Google to say, well, this page is about private investigators in Atlanta, but it doesn't really say anywhere on your website the words Private Investigator Atlanta. So, basically it says, well, this page isn't relevant, even though you've got all the experience, probably more than anybody else out there. Google still says that this isn't a relevant page because it just doesn't have any of the content on it. So the first thing that I would do is make sure that you have about 1,500 words of content on your website. If we take a look at some of these other ones, they don't have 1,500 words, but they have a lot more. So there's at least a chance for them to rank for all these different keywords. This kind of stuff is old. That might have worked a while ago, but it doesn't really work or have an effect these days. So that was probably done quite a few years ago. But anyway, he's still got quite a bit of content on the page. This one, not as much, I don't think, but still a little bit and more than yourself. And then we've got Investigative Solutions. They've got a little bit of content right there, and they got more right there as well. So I don't think any of these are close to 1,500 words. So again, the opportunity is there to take over. And then we've got Martinelli as well. Nice video on the front page. And then we've got some keywords. They've got some more content there, calls to action. They've got maps, a map of their business. These are all good things. And again, they've got this thing going on right here, which is a little spammy, but you know, whatever's working for them. So that would be the first thing, get 1,500 words. Now, the second thing, we talked about it a little bit, would be to get the backlinks. You want to get as many backlinks as you can, but we're talking about quality backlinks from trusted sources. I know a lot of the news things that you've done in the past. If you have links to these kinds of things, they're great to point towards your page as long as it's linking back to your website. If you have these, then you know they're great assets to have, and you can point links to those websites that will come back to yours as well, if that makes sense, and give you more authority. So that would be another thing that I would do, or that you can do, is reach out to people and get backlinks pointing back towards your site. Generally, the more backlinks you have, it's like votes. The more votes you have, the more popular you are, the more Google is going to share your website. The other thing, and I'll go back to here as well, why are this site, and this site showing up on the map above everybody else? Well, first of all, this site has a lot of links, and they got 32 reviews. Reviews are one of the things that really drive the map placement here. So even though they're not top because they're missing something, they still get recognized. These two right here, I'm going to see if I can switch my screen and show you this. Let's see. Okay, here we go. Now this is another software I have that lets me look at all the details of people's sites, and we've got Alan Investigative here and Private Investigator Atlanta here. I'm going to just move it over. Like I said, I can get a lot of information about what's going on. But if you look here, they have 28 citations. Now, a citation is you know, a name, address, and phone number of your business appearing on other sites. So other directories like Yellow Pages or White Pages, you know, all these directories, you want all your information appearing on and being found by Google, and that's going to help you rank on the map. So that is one of the most important things that you can do to help rank on the map. And let me just switch back there to this one. So those are the real three major things that will move the needle and make a difference. There's 1,500 words on your front page, get more quality backlinks to that points to the content that you have on your website, and then get some citations. Those are the three things that I would concentrate on, as well as, like I said, these titles. And if I go to services right here, it seems like this site was designed a little bit more for just design rather than SEO. So it's, you know, if people ever get here, it looks good, but people have to find it first. And it's the way it's set up isn't really set up for it to be found very well. A couple of things that I look for here, like background investigation. I look at the URL to see if it lines up with what the title is about. Let me go back to services here. Civil investigations, copy of background investigations. See this, I don't know if they've just copied from one page to the next and haven't changed this URL structure, but that should never be like that. The copy of background investigations, it should be talking about civil investigations, because that's what this is supposed to be about. So like I said, work in progress, looks like trying to build this out. You know, here we have criminal investigations. copy of Civil Investigations -1. So that's not even telling you what the page is about, it's telling you it's about something else right here. And these are one of the most important things that Google looks at. It's one of the first things that they look at when they go to see if a page is right to give in the search. So the URL structure is one of the most important things. So those are some of the things that I would look at. Obviously, if this is something that you want to take, and if you have a person that does this for you, get them to do that, that's fine. If it's something that you like me to do, you know, I do look to work with one person in the Atlanta area at a time. And if that is you, then that's great. If it's not, that's great too. There are dozens and dozens of private investigators all looking for that traffic every month coming from Google. Anyway, I hope this information was interesting to you and you learned something from it. And again, if I can help, just reach out. My number is 404-428-1399, or you can just reply to the email and we can communicate that way. Either way, I look forward to hearing from you. Take care.